The images begin in silence, but the tension is unmistakable. A narrow street in the province of Castellón becomes the stage of a meticulously planned operation as Spanish police officers move swiftly toward a nondescript building. Their steps are deliberate, rehearsed. Each movement reflects weeks of surveillance, intelligence gathering, and coordination. What unfolds inside this quiet neighborhood marks one of the most significant counterterrorism breakthroughs Spain has witnessed in recent years. The dismantling of the country's first neo-Nazi accelerationist terrorist cell linked to the international extremist organization known as the Base. As police breach the doorway, the camera captures them advancing through the entrance, clearing rooms in rapid succession. Officers, dressed in dark tactical gear, navigate tight corridors, executing arrests with precision. The operation unfolds without sound for several moments, adding to the gravity of what was taking place behind those doors. The silent footage shows suspects being restrained, hands forced behind their backs, each individual now part of a growing investigation that would soon reveal just how deeply the ideology of violent accelerationism had infiltrated the country. Spanish authorities had been monitoring the group for months. What they discovered was alarming. 3 individuals, all residing in Spain, linked not only ideologically but operationally to the Base, a neo-Nazi organization founded in the United States. Classified as a terrorist entity by the European Union, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia and New Zealand, the group promotes the collapse of democratic institutions through orchestrated violence. Its members adhere to extremist doctrines that encourage small autonomous cells to carry out attacks aimed at pushing societies into chaos. Inside the apartment raided by police, investigators immediately begin uncovering the tools and symbols of that dangerous ideology. In one sequence, officers hold up a dark sweater emblazoned with the phrase "Defend Europe." The slogan has long been associated with white supremacist and identitarian movements across the continent. The police resemble archivists of extremist culture, carefully displaying evidence for the camera, clothing, symbols, and propaganda materials that reveal the suspect's deep immersion in the neo-Nazi sphere. Moments later, officers uncover a firearm. The weapon lies on a table beside personal belongings, suggesting easy access and potential readiness for use. Another gun follows. The footage remains silent, intensifying the soundless threat represented by the seized weapons. Then comes a knife, and another, and another. The scene becomes a catalogue of blades, prohibited weapons, combat knives, folding knives, machetes, more than 20 of them, according to the investigators. A baseball bat emerges from beneath a bed or cabinet, its presence adding yet another layer of intent. Then stacks of banknotes appear, whether for operational funding, recruitment, or other illicit activities. The significance of money in extremist networks is well understood by police, and its discovery strengthens the growing case against the cell. But the most disturbing items come next. Officers lay out ideological material copies of Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf, dog-eared and marked. The hateful pages reflect the core doctrines driving this cell's allegiance. Investigators then find a T-shirt bearing the words "White Summer Boy" alongside an image of Ted Kaczynski, the infamous Unabomber and a twisted folk hero among segments of extremist and neo-Nazi groups. In the subculture of violent accelerationists, Kaczynski is celebrated for attacking the foundations of modern society. His image's presence in the apartment is no coincidence. Inside another drawer rests a machete, long, sharp, and clearly intended as a weapon, not a household tool. Police continue retrieving one lethal object after another: tactical gear, ammunition, survival equipment, and documents that point directly toward the operational mindset of the group. These are not tools for self-defense. They represent preparation, intention, and ideology, 3 pillars of extremist threats. The images continue with more weapons, a gun displayed against a dark surface, ammunition, and tactical accessories. The collective arsenal is disturbing. and the officers handling the items do so with both caution and certainty, aware that these discoveries will help prosecutors piece together the cell's plan. The operation then shifts back to the arrests. Footage shows police guiding a suspect down a narrow stairway, hands bound, face blurred but posture tense. Another suspect is escorted across an outdoor walkway surrounded by heavily armed officers. The weight of the situation is etched into every movement. This is not a routine criminal arrest, but the containment of individuals believed capable of plotting violent attacks. As more equipment is removed from the residence, the camera tracks officers carrying heavy bags and cases filled with weapons, tactical vests, extremist literature, and digital evidence. On a table, investigators arrange the items in a systematic layout that reveals the cell's capabilities. Firearms sit beside blades, survival gear sits beside propaganda, ammunition lines the edges of the display. The camera pans slowly across the collection. Every item tells a piece of the story, a story of radicalization, communication with international networks, ideological indoctrination, and preparation for violence. It is at this point in the video that the silence finally breaks, replaced by the voice of the chief inspector leading the operation. His words deliver the gravity of the case without exaggeration, speaking with a calm that reflects both professionalism and concern. He states the National Police have dismantled the first accelerationist-type terrorist cell detected in Spain. 3 people were arrested for their membership in the Base, a neo-Nazi accelerationist-type organization considered terrorist in the European Union, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. That confirmation underscores the importance of the operation. Accelerationist ideology encourages precisely the type of violence that European law enforcement has been preparing to confront, plots carried out by small autonomous cells seeking to destabilize Western democracies. Spain's discovery of an active cell demonstrates that no country is immune to the spread of extremist networks that recruit through encrypted platforms, obscure forums, and ideological propaganda. The inspector continues with a detailed breakdown of the items seized. His tone remains steady as he delivers a list that underscores the dangerous potential of the group. He states 9 weapons were seized, including 2 firearms, ammunition, more than 20 prohibited bladed weapons, tactical military equipment and documents related to accelerationism and the organization The Base, as well as neo-Nazi paraphernalia and documents glorifying terrorist acts. This statement confirms what the silent footage has been revealing item by item. The cell was armed, equipped, and ideologically motivated. The breadth of materials seized from tactical vests to extremist manifestos matches the patterns observed in similar cells across the United States, Canada, and Europe. These groups often conduct paramilitary-style training, discussing strategies for targeted attacks, infrastructure sabotage, and the creation of societal fear. The final portion of the investigator's statement delivers perhaps the most chilling revelation. With a firm voice, he explains the international coordination behind the Spanish cell, stating, "The head of the Spanish state cell is in direct contact with the founder of the base, launched a month ago a call for the consolidation of cells scattered in several countries and the commission of targeted terrorist attacks in order to undermine Western democratic institutions." The significance of that connection cannot be overstated. Direct communication with the organization's founder indicates that the Spanish cell was not a fringe offshoot, but a recognized component of the base's global network. It suggests that operational instructions, ideological reinforcement, and recruitment strategies may have flowed between Spain and other countries where cells have been detected. The inspector further explains that the suspects had undergone tactical training. The subjects of the investigation expressed their willingness to commit attacks and had already followed several tactical trainings using paramilitary techniques and equipment, trainings that were detected by the agents. This detail adds another layer of danger. The cell was not merely absorbing extremist rhetoric, but actively preparing for violent action. Training with paramilitary techniques suggests discipline, structure, and a level of preparation beyond what many small extremist groups typically demonstrate. The footage and statements together reveal a chilling reality. The individuals arrested in Castellón were guided not merely by ideology, but by a blueprint, one shared by accelerationist networks across continents. They sought societal collapse, the erosion of democratic norms, and the creation of chaos through violence. Their weapons, literature, and digital communications form the mosaic of a group inspired by an extremist doctrine that thrives on fragmentation and secrecy. This case also highlights the evolving nature of far-right extremism in Europe. While previous decades often saw hierarchical organizations with structured leadership, today's extremist movements rely on decentralized cells, encrypted channels, and the empowerment of individuals who act autonomously. The dismantling of the Spanish cell underscores the importance of intelligence sharing, monitoring online radicalization trends, and proactive counterterrorism measures. Investigators believe that the suspects were in the early stages of operational planning. The presence of tactical gear, weapons, extremist propaganda, and direct international connections suggests that the cell was transitioning from ideological preparation to potential action. Whether they had selected specific targets remains unclear, but the quantity and diversity of the seized items indicate readiness for violent scenarios. The video closes on the array of confiscated weapons and equipment, a stark reminder of how much potential harm was prevented through this operation. Firearms, blades, tactical vests, extremist literature, and survival gear sit neatly on the display tables, illuminated under the sterile lights of the investigation facility. The officers handling them appear composed but resolute, aware that dismantling this cell is only one step in a broader effort to monitor extremist threats. For Spain, this case sets a precedent. It confirms the presence of organized neo-Nazi accelerationist activity within its borders and signals the need for vigilance. For Europe, it adds another data point to a troubling trend, a rise in violent far-right extremism that crosses borders, communicates digitally, and prepares silently. The operation in Castellón succeeded in preventing an accelerationist cell from gaining strength, recruiting further, or plotting coordinated attacks. It also brought to light the increasing sophistication of extremist groups that merge ideology with tactical training. The willingness of the suspects to carry out attacks, as described by the investigators, shows the danger posed by individuals radicalized and empowered through global extremist networks. The police operation, though conducted quietly, reverberates loudly. It reminds democratic societies that threats do not always emerge from large organizations or public propaganda campaigns. Sometimes they grow quietly, behind closed doors, in apartments filled with weapons and manifestos, connected through encrypted whispers across borders. The Spanish police, through methodical investigation and coordinated action, exposed this cell before it could act. Their work highlights the value of early detection, intelligence analysis, and decisive intervention. As the investigators carry the last of the seized equipment from the building, the sense of relief is palpable, but so is the awareness that the struggle against violent extremism continues. The images fade, leaving behind the record of a critical operation and the stark evidence of an ideology that seeks destruction. The voices of the inspectors echo the seriousness of the threat and the importance of vigilance. Spain has dismantled its first accelerationist terrorist cell, but the broader fight against such extremist networks remains ongoing, demanding constant attention, cooperation, and readiness. The national police have dismantled the first accelerationist-type terrorist cell detected in Spain. 3 people were arrested for their membership in the base, a neo-Nazi accelerationist-type organization considered terrorist in the European Union, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. La Policía Nacional has de-articulated the first terrorist cell of an accelerating character detected in Spain. It has detained 3 people for its loss at the base, a neo-Nazi organization of an accelerating character considered terrorist in the European Union, in Canada, in the United States, in Australia and New Zealand. 9 weapons were seized, including 2 firearms ammunition, more than 20 prohibited bladed weapons, tactical military equipment and documents related to accelerationism and the organization, the base. as well as neo-Nazi paraphernalia and documents glorifying terrorist acts. The head of the Spanish state cell is in direct contact with the founder of the base, launched a month ago a call for the consolidation of cells scattered in several countries and the commission of targeted terrorist attacks in order to undermine Western democratic institutions. For the consolidation of cells expanded by several countries and the commission of selective terrorist attacks in order to collapse Western democratic institutions. The subjects of the investigation expressed their willingness to commit attacks and had already followed several tactical trainings using paramilitary techniques and equipment trainings that were detected by the agents. Using paramilitary techniques and equipment training that was detected by the agents,